Hi there, and welcome to the event. We'll be getting started in just a moment. Take a look around our event platform. You'll find important event information, a list of resources, including our follow along materials, as well as our media player window. You can resize the media player by clicking and dragging from the bottom corner. Or you can click the Maximize button to view this presentation in full screen. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be starting shortly.
I see cold, I'm just a diamond in the rough. Keep it cool, cause every time I'm rising up. I'm on a roll, yeah, I do it like that. I'm wild and bold, oh na 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 na. Got 'em like got 'em like
Hi there and welcome. I'm Jared with Microsoft. I'm thrilled that you've joined us today. As IT professionals, you're constantly navigating complex technical challenges while securing your organization's digital environment. The pace of threats and technology changes only continues to accelerate. So today, we'll explore how Microsoft 365 Copilot can transform your workflow by enhancing your technical capabilities and helping you communicate complex concepts clearly. This isn't about replacing expertise, it's about amplifying it and giving you better tools to manage security, support users, and drive digital transformation. We've designed this session to be practical and relevant to your IT responsibilities. Feel free to share questions through the chat feature as we go. Our team is monitoring and will address as many as possible. Now, let's take a look at our agenda. We'll begin with a quick introduction to Microsoft 365 Copilot and what makes it uniquely powerful. Then, we'll cover some of the essential prompting strategies to communicate effectively with Copilot. The heart of our session, though, is going to be our live demonstrations across the Microsoft 365 suite. So you'll see firsthand how Copilot can help you analyze security patterns in Excel, or build a custom troubleshooting agent in Copilot Studio, rapidly respond to incidents in Teams, create accessible documentation in Microsoft Word, and communicate concepts clearly across the entire organization. We'll conclude with next steps and resources to support your Copilot journey. Everything we cover today is designed to deliver value to your role. So, let's get started. When you think about being productive at work, you might imagine having an assistant there to help. Traditionally, we associate assistants with executives and upper management. However, with advancements in AI, Copilot is designed to provide everyone with an AI assistant at work. This is a bold promise, and Copilot delivers in significant ways. But first, it's important to understand that this artificial intelligence is powered by what's called a large language model, or LLM. Essentially, what this means is that it understands words and how they relate to each other. That combines to form a vast amount of intelligence that can respond to us in a human like way. In the past, interacting with computers required a knowledge of code and a rigid and structured way of communicating for the PC to understand. Now, with large language models and Copilot, you can use casual, conversational speech and it will intelligently understand you. This is the foundation of how Copilot works. Its capabilities are further enhanced with its integration into Microsoft 365, giving it access to your organization's data. Of course, it is built with best in class data protection and privacy. This intelligence and company knowledge are also integrated into the apps that you use daily. These apps include familiar ones like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, Outlook, and even some newer faces like Microsoft Loop. To access Copilot, your organization needs to have assigned you a Microsoft 365 Copilot license. Once you have a license, you'll see the Copilot icon, which I'll show you later, and you can interact with Copilot within the apps you're familiar with. As I mentioned, Copilot has access to a wide array of company data, including sensitive information and confidential projects. It's crucial to emphasize that Microsoft 365 Copilot runs on trust, the trust that you and your organization place in us at Microsoft. The data that you provide to Copilot is your data. Microsoft and our partners cannot view your interactions, and your data is not used to train the AI models. The AI models are already highly trained, and your data is used solely for your organization's purposes. The security of this language model is backed by Microsoft's comprehensive compliance and security protocols, providing the same level of protection that organizations have relied on with Microsoft 365 for years. There are several ways that you can talk to Copilot. One way is through Copilot Chat for Work and Web, which can be accessed in a few different places. To talk to Copilot, you can go to microsoft.com/copilot. This will take you to the web-based interface where you can ask Copilot questions about your organization or knowledge that's on the web and much more. You'll also find this chat interface inside of the Microsoft 365 Copilot app and through the sidebar in our Microsoft Edge browser. Inside of Microsoft Teams, you can chat with Copilot in the Chat tab, just as you would with your colleagues. Now, you can gain even more value from Copilot by using the in-app chat. Apps like Outlook. Copilot can assist you drafting emails and considering the context of the entire email thread. In Microsoft Teams, Copilot is available in meetings and chats. In Microsoft Word, it allows you to draft and summarize content. And in PowerPoint, it will help you present information effectively. This is also available in Excel and a variety of other applications too. Across these apps, Copilot is deeply integrated into these experiences. So, how does it work? The key is prompts. Prompts are what you say to Copilot. Now, while I'm going to share the best way to prompt Copilot, it is important to remember that you can just talk to it naturally, as if you were conversing with another person. Even if your prompt isn't perfect, Copilot will still strive to provide a helpful response. However, there are some ways to enhance your prompts for optimal results. Simply telling Copilot what you need is an excellent way to get started. It can perform tasks like transforming an FAQ document into a 10-slide onboarding guide. It's also useful for catching up on information that we may have missed in a Teams chat or an email thread, or for learning about the different projects and concepts that exists within an organization. You can phrase these requests as standard questions, but adding the right ingredients to your prompts makes it even more powerful. There are 4 key elements to crafting an effective Copilot prompt. First is the goal. Clearly state, what do you want Copilot to do? For example, generate 3 to 5 bullet points. Well, that is our goal. Now, when it comes to context, this is about providing background information to explain why do you need the information. For example, to let's say, prepare me for a meeting with client X to discuss their phase 3 brand campaign. Now, because Microsoft 365 Copilot is integrated, it understands who client X is and the details of the phase 3 plus brand campaign, so you don't have to copy and paste information in context. We also want to specify a source. For example, focus on emails and Teams chats since June. This is useful if a significant change occurred, let's say, in June, and the earlier information is irrelevant. By giving Copilot this context, it helps refine the response. And finally, we also want to set proper expectations. Like, for example, please use simple language so I can get up to speed quickly, or explain this to me as if I am a child, or explain it to me as if you were a pirate. Whatever it is, these expectations help Copilot give you these better responses. All of these elements, goal, context, sources, and expectations, are the ingredients to make an effective Copilot prompt. Here are a few other tips for prompting. Your initial prompt is just the beginning. You can keep the conversation going and follow up on your prompts to guide Copilot towards the best outcome. Copilot also excels at translating languages. Large language models have a strong understanding of language, so that makes localization even easier. Copilot can also assist with creative tasks, such as creating a narrative or developing a storytelling demo of your organization's products. It is important to be aware of Copilot's limitations. While we are continuously working to enhance Copilot's capabilities, there are some tasks that it just cannot yet perform. Copilot will attempt to inform you of its limitations, but sometimes the response may be unsatisfactory or unclear. It is important for you to use your human power of judgment and discernment in evaluating the response to make sure that it is quality. Using quotation marks for specific phrases can be helpful for Copilot, just as it is for human readers. And when we're switching to a topic, it is good to start fresh and create a new chat to help Copilot stay focused. Finally, it's beneficial to treat Copilot with the same level of professionalism that you would extend to your colleagues. Now, while this might seem a bit unusual to be courteous to a computer, it has been observed that being professional and kind to Copilot can result in more comprehensive and insightful responses. Therefore, it's a good practice to say please and thank you. If you need assistance with prompting, there is a Copilot prompt library available. When interacting with Copilot, you'll typically see a window like this where you can input your prompts. At the bottom, there is an icon that resembles stars or a book, and it's usually labeled View Prompts. Clicking on this opens up the Copilot prompt gallery. Here, you'll find a variety of prompts created by Microsoft and others, which you can use as inspiration. You can customize these prompts to suit your specific needs, providing a great starting point. So if you find a prompt that you like, you can bookmark it using that icon there, and it'll be saved in your saved area within the Copilot prompt gallery. Now, to access this, you can go to microsoft.com/copilot, and then you'll find that View Prompts button there at the bottom. If you're not seeing what's described, do remember that you need to have a Microsoft 365 Copilot license assigned. And if you haven't had your license assigned yet, still watch this session, and you can learn about that for future use. Once you've saved your prompts, you can also share them with colleagues. Within the prompt gallery, hovering over a prompt reveals a link icon that you see here next to the bookmark. Clicking this link copies a URL to your clipboard, which you can then send to others. When they click that URL, it's going to open a fresh Copilot chat, and that prompt will already be pre-populated, allowing them to make any edits they need and then submit it to Copilot. This is an easy way to share prompts via a direct link. Here are some key prompts to get you started. These are among the top 10 that users find most valuable with Copilot. I'll highlight just a few. For example, recapping a meeting. This is a game changer. If you have ever been in a Teams meeting and struggled to take notes without missing important details, Copilot will revolutionize your meeting participation because you can stay focused and let Copilot handle all of the note-taking. We can also summarize information, both in an email thread or in a document and beyond, even in PowerPoint presentations. We also have the email abilities with drafting a new email or even drafting an entire Word document, so you can get that type of creative writing assistance. Education is key. Tell me about a topic or a project. Copilot can search company data to provide information on projects and then explain it in a natural way. This is particularly useful for new employees that are getting acquainted with their organization. You can also ask Copilot to revise existing content or even translate it, as I mentioned before, into any other language. Now, let's see Microsoft 365 Copilot in action with our fictitious demo company, Welcome to Boulder Innovations, where cutting edge EV charging solutions meet intelligent design. What you are looking at is our flagship product, the Charge Hub Pro, an elegant yet powerful EV charging solution that is transforming commercial spaces across the world. Today, we'll see how this forward thinking company is leveraging Microsoft 365 Copilot to accelerate their mission of making electric mobility accessible to all. Our company has been around since 2014 and has evolved from a startup to an industry leader with over 850 employees across multiple locations. We're currently focused on four key initiatives. We are expanding into the European market. We're also launching our affordable residential product line with the Charge Hub Home, as well as enhancing security and elevating our customer experiences. These strategic priorities create a perfect backdrop for us to demonstrate how Microsoft 365 Copilot can empower different roles to drive innovation across the organization. Meet Jamal Matthews, a member of the IT team at Boulder. He's focused on strengthening Boulder's digital infrastructure as the company grows, particularly as they prepare for European expansion. Today, we'll see how Jamal uses Microsoft 365 Copilot to analyze help desk ticket trends, create Copilot agents to assist users, and respond rapidly to emerging threats, all while ensuring that Boulder's innovative technology remains secure and protected. Have you found yourself in a situation where you know the document that you're looking for, but you can't quite remember where you saved it? Copilot is really great at helping with this. So, as Jamal, we're going to open up the Microsoft 365 Copilot app. It's right down here. I'll open that up. And first things first, in this Copilot chat interface, I have two different options. I can select Work, or I can move over to Web. Web allows you to, of course, search the internet for the answers you seek, whereas when I select Work, I am searching internally within Boulder Innovations in our example here today. So because Jamal is looking for a document, we'll select Work. So I'm going to say, please help me find that Excel file I used last week. Something very vague. Let's see how Copilot can help. Now, what it's going to do is comb through all of the documents that Jamal has access to on his OneDrive, on SharePoint sites and team sites, and more. And as you can see, I found this Excel file, help desk tickets from January, February. Is this what you were wanting? And it absolutely is. So I have had the help of Copilot to immediately find this file so I can get right to work.
Jamal analyzes help desk ticket data to identify security vulnerability patterns. Using analyzed data, he quickly discovers the top security issues. This data-driven approach gives Jamal a clear direction for targeted security education.
Let's open it up. Now this will first load in Excel on the web. I want to open this in my full Excel desktop app, so I'll click this. There we go. Now, I have a lot of information inside of this very large Excel file, and so it would be great to have some help kind of learning more about this information and analyzing it. So to do that, I'm going to use Copilot right up here. This will bring in my Copilot pane, and let's ask some questions. I'll start with an easy one. Which ticket types are we seeing most often? Copilot will parse through the data that's contained here in this large Excel table, analyze all of the information, and there I have it. Okay, so immediately I can see the most common ticket types is security with 34 different occurrences. The next most common is networking with only 3 occurrences. So something's going on. Let's ask another follow-up question. What are the top 5 security issues by frequency? Go. So now Copilot's going to look through this on even more of a detailed plane, analyze that information, provide me some results. Okay, it looks like the top 5 issues are account lockout, 7 occurrences, followed by phishing attempts, device being left unlocked, forgotten passwords, and unknown location login attempts. And it has created a count of those things for me here as well. Really nice. Let's continue our conversation here with Copilot. Now, I want to know where I should start looking to change employee behavior and improve security. So let's ask, which department has the most security tickets? It's going to look through this information. I can see that department is here in the data. So after it analyzes, we can see it's sales. Sales has the most security tickets with 8 different occurrences. My goodness. So I want to drill down into even more specific information. Let's try this. I'm going to cite some of the names of specific columns, like specific issue and department. So I'm going to say, show me the specific issue and which department falls under each. So again, we're going to work through all of that information. This level of detailed insight is going to be helpful for us because I can see what is the type category of attack or incoming threat, and then what was the specific department that it was targeting. So account lockouts are being experienced in customer support and engineering. There was a CEO impersonation attempt in finance, and much more. And if I want to drill down and view even more, I can click Add to a new sheet for any of these items. So if I click this now, that will create a new sheet here where I can see each of these different departments and the specific issue that they were experiencing, all nice and available in this pivot table. That insight that I added to a new sheet, there's many more insights to be had, maybe things that I'm not even thinking of. There's another area that is empowered by Copilot called Analyze Data. It's right here next to the Copilot icon. When I open this up, it's going to review all of this information and surface some insights that could be helpful for me. Resolution ticket times by issue category and ticket ID. How long is it taking us to resolve by department? I can add a pivot chart to that effect. The distribution of desktops versus laptops and how long it takes to solve an issue, as well as 35 other different types of insights, charts, analysis, graphs, and much more to help me understand this data export from a different system, all here built into Excel, powered by Copilot. I can even move back over to my Copilot chat and say, add all insights to a grid. It's going to then parse through that again, look for those different insights, and then it can create a different sheet to show me a lot of those insights, some of the greatest hits in a brand new Excel spreadsheet that I can then use. I can see it's combing through some of those insights, says, I've added these to a grid for you. Very good. Add all of those insights to a grid. There we go. So now, wow, instantly, you can see that it has created for me a lot of useful information. How many hours did it take us to resolve these issues across time? What is the resolution time by department? Sales taking a good amount of our help desk team's time. Field operations followed by finance. Desktops and laptops. These are those similar responses that I saw up here in Analyze Data, but now all in one beautiful grid. Underneath it, I can see the pivot tables that are generating this useful information. So let's review what we just saw. We used Copilot in Excel in order to take what was a long, big table of exported data from a help desk ticket system, analyze it, and gain visual, actionable insights of how we can improve Boulder's security. We were able to see that security threats are among the most common help desk tickets, and we were also able to see that the sales team is responsible for a lot of that coming in. So now Jamal starts thinking, how can we improve our situation here? Maybe I can provide our team with an agent that they can talk to help troubleshoot these types of IT concerns and ask it questions. There is a feature called Copilot Agents, which organizations can use to create AI-powered conversationalists that a user can talk to gain useful insights about the organization. So let's take a look at creating a Copilot agent with Microsoft 365.
Jamal needs an efficient way to provide IT troubleshooting guidance to employees, rather than responding reactively to tickets as they are received. He uses Copilot Studio to build a custom agent trained on Boulder's internal IT policies and procedures, delivering instant, company specific answers to common support questions.
To do this, I'm going to open up Microsoft Edge. And here I am at the Copilot Studio, which is where we can create new Copilot agents. So right here, use everyday words to describe what your agent should do. And I'm going to do just that. There. So I've said, create an agent to assist with IT troubleshooting, referencing Boulder innovations, policies, and procedures. Sure. So from there, we're now in an area where we're going to be asked some questions to configure our new Copilot agent. Copilot says, great, let's name it. How about Boulder IT Assistant? I'm going to call it, how about IT Troubleshooter? There we go. We'll give it that name. Great, now let's refine the instructions. What should it focus on? Should it help users with software issues, hardware problems, or all of the above? All of those sound great. But I can, of course, refine these as I go. This is where we're training our agent on how it should respond to users. And it takes what you say here very seriously. You can see on this side column here, it's keeping a running log of the directions that I'm giving it. Next, let's determine, are there any publicly accessible websites or data sources? If you have those in mind, please provide them. Let's not do public websites. I will provide it some additional documentation for it to review a little bit later. I'll provide these later. Okay, the agent is now set up. You can continue exploring this and add more. There we go. And I can see here exactly what I'm creating on the side. All that's left for me to do is hit the Create button. Once I hit the Create button, it is then going to go to work building the basis of this agent. Once that agent is created, I can then go back in and give it even more refined information. This can take some time, and the tool will email you once that agent is completed. Okay, time has passed, and here we are. I have my IT troubleshooter agent open, and this is the back end. I can test my agent's responses as if I was an employee right down here, and I can provide it with new information up at the top. So let's equip it with some knowledge. I'm going to go over here and add some knowledge sources. Now from this, I am going to select SharePoint, and then I'll browse to some of these files. Now I have a lot of different IT policies, so let's select all of these different policies to equip our agent with. Now this can accept a lot of different information and can even connect to ServiceNow for the live state of your help desk tickets. For today though, I'm going to connect all of these different Word document policies for our IT organization and then confirm. Very good, and I'll hit add. Okay, so here on the Knowledge tab, there are all of the documents and information that I've been able to equip it with. Very good. So let's test this out. I have my IT troubleshooter right here over the side. Let's ask it some questions that an end user might ask. Let's try this one. My Boulder issued laptop isn't connecting to Wi-Fi at the Denver office. What should I do? So now I'm using Activity Map. I can see it's searching through knowledge sources. So the user won't see this. This is only for my testing purposes. I can expand this to view it even more. It looks like it found the IT orientation manual and VPN troubleshooting guide and found what it was looking for. It gave the user this comprehensive response. Ensure your laptop is Wi-Fi's turned on, verify you're connected to the right network. Very good. And look, it's even giving me specific email support at Boulder Innovations for more info. Let's try another one. I need to install Docker for the engineering team. How do I get approval? Okay, it's looking through knowledge sources again. And it's found the information I need. To get approval for installing Docker for the engineering team, submit an IT help desk request at our Boulder Innovations portal. Ensure it includes information about its intended use. If any additional information is required, email it to us, wait for approval while we review it, and then we can install it. So it shows that user exactly what to do, and it even references them to the IT manuals. Let's do another. I lost my company laptop. What's the official process for reporting and replacing it? It's going to search through those sources again. There we are. Report the device to IT within 24 hours, submit it through the help desk portal, mark it as high priority, call our hotline at this if it's urgent. We will provide you a loaner laptop if it's under repair. So we didn't need to open a whole help desk ticket about this yet necessarily. This is giving the user the exact specific guidance that is set by IT policy right here through this agent. Here's another. Can I store work files on Dropbox instead of OneDrive? The answer is simply no. You cannot store work files on Dropbox. Boulder Innovations requires all data to be stored in OneDrive or SharePoint. Okay. Now, how about this one? I received an email asking me to update my payroll details. How do I know if this is a phishing attempt? Let's find out. It's going to search through those same knowledge sources. There we go. Check the sender's email. Look for urgent or threatening language. Verify suspicious links. This is some good guidance. Very nice. Here's another example. I'll simply ask, what is Boulder's stance on remote work? After searching through these different documents, it's letting me know that, hey, you can use remote work as long as you're interacting with a virtual private network for securely accessing these resources. You'll need to make sure that you use the VPN client, Boulder Secure Connect, and make sure that's installed. So this is not just giving me generic IT guidance that could apply to any organization. I've trained this agent on Boulder's specific IT policies and procedures. It's able to index that information and bring that to the user's forefront through this IT troubleshooter. I was able to do this before your eyes very quickly using Copilot Studio to create this agent to interact with users.
Jamal receives an urgent Teams notification about a sophisticated phishing attack. Using AI Notes and Copilot, Jamal quickly synthesizes the essential information from his security team's discussion to get caught up quickly. Copilot then extracts clear recommended actions from the team discussion, giving Jamal an immediate response plan.
Now Jamal opens up Microsoft Teams, and we can see that the security team has some unread messages in it. That's an urgent group for things that are happening. I want to jump into that right away. We confirmed at least one recipient has clicked the link, but we don't know if credentials were entered. Oh goodness, this doesn't sound good at all. And I can look through this Teams chat and see there's been a lot of discussion. I want to get up to speed on this as quickly as possible. I can see down here, AI generated notes have been turned on. So I'm going to go right up here to open AI notes. Once I click this, I'm going to see immediately, oh my goodness, we are having a phishing attack. A sophisticated attack is targeting members of the executive and financial teams with personalized content. The decisions escalated to me, Jamal, for executive approval of this company-wide alert. Block the domain at the gateway, initiate phishing incident response protocol, analyze email logs. All of this has been discussed. I can see that Copilot is referencing exactly where in the conversation, and I can click these to jump right to them as I need. This notes page that you're looking at here is consistently up to date. So as new information comes in and directions change, this notes page will always be that synthesized view of just what's going on, which is really useful. And let's say that, maybe I have a follow-up question that's not contained within these notes. Copilot is always here to help. I can move right up here and open up the Copilot pane. This allows me to ask questions regarding this chat that has been happening. So let's ask a question here. I'm going to say summarize the key details about this phishing attack, including attack vector, targeting approach, potential impact, and current status. Go. Now, this is going to see, now maybe they didn't talk about all these things, or maybe they did, but Copilot's going to bring that information to the forefront right away. Here's the summary. Attack vector, they are using ms-identity-verify.com. Oh, that sounds legitimate, but it isn't. Targeting approach, specifically targeting executive and finance team members. Potential impact, competitive intelligence gathering, capturing credentials, bypassing MFA. Current status, the domain has been blocked, the rules have been updated, forced password resets have been initiated, and enhanced monitoring and investigation is happening. My team is on top of it. I'm glad to see that. And Copilot was able to bring me all this information very quickly without me having to read every single back and forth message that has transpired this afternoon. Let me ask one more question. Based on the team's discussion, what are the recommended immediate actions that we should take to contain this threat? Here we go. It's even telling me who's recommending these things. My good pal Christy Klein here says block the domain. Done. Preserve all copies of the phishing email. Okay. Prepare for forced password resets, enhanced monitoring, notifications for the affected users. I can see she recommended that here. Diego said that we should analyze email logs to identify all recipients of those emails. Analyze the phishing site to understand its capabilities. Investigate the email headers to see if we can trace its origin. So the team is clearly on top of it.
With how close the attack came to compromising executive accounts, Jamal realizes that the company needs better guidance for employees. Using Copilot, Jamal references Boulder's official phishing response procedures to create a user-friendly guide for recognizing and reporting phishing emails.
So now that the team has already taken our appropriate identified steps, Jamal wants to prevent these types of things from happening again. Now, of course, there's only so much we can do to prevent phishing attempts, but how our employees respond to it is key. Let's create a guide so that they know how to identify these attacks. And to do that, we'll use Microsoft Word. I'm going to minimize Teams here, and let's open up a fresh Word document. Here at this blank Word document, Copilot is greeting me right away. Describe what you would like to write. So, I'm going to say create a comprehensive guide for employees, educating them on how to identify and report phishing emails in their inbox. Use a friendly and encouraging tone while still conveying the seriousness of the issue. Now, we at Boulder have a procedures document for phishing, so I'm going to reference it by hitting the slash key on my keyboard and then searching for Boulder phishing, and now I can see there's my phishing response procedures file. That is now referenced, and then I'll hit go. It's going to parse through that document as well as what Copilot just knows about phishing attacks. And here in our Boulder Innovations template, I'm able to see this guide to identifying and reporting phishing emails. It's done everything. I have the signs of a phishing email, what to do, the response process, even the specific security email and our phone number from that documentation, all created for me. Now, I don't have to accept this as is. I can ask it to make some key changes. So I'll say expand the section detailing the signs of a phishing email to be a bit longer and more comprehensive with subheadings. Because I think that signs of a phishing email, that's kind of the whole point here. And these are true, but I want it to be more legitimate. Let's see what it does. Now, once I ask it to refine, it starts over. It starts regenerating. And then I can see here, look, it has added different subheads underneath this. So let me scroll back up. It has expanded upon that just as I asked, unusual sender information, attachments or links, and more. Very good. So this looks good to me. I'll hit keep it. And now I have created my comprehensive guide for identifying and reporting phishing emails. This document looks great. So let's go ahead and save it. I'll simply save it to my OneDrive for now, and I'll call it Phishing Guide. In this example, we do not want to teach someone to fish. We want to teach them to avoid phishing. Good. Phishing guide is now created. I'll close Microsoft Word for now. The next step is to make sure that this information is sent out to the organization. And that's a pretty big email to send. Let's jump into Outlook.
After creating his phishing security guide, Jamal needs to alert members across his organization of this active threat. He uses Copilot to draft a company wide email, providing this document, highlighting best practices and the importance of mitigation.
Open this up. Discover Copilot. Very good. Let's discover it for ourselves. I'm going to draft a new email here. Now it's put in my information automatically. I want this to go to all employees. I'm going to say bulletin, colon, and I'll call it urgent phishing guidance. So I want Copilot's help to draft something here. So I'm going to press the Copilot button, which has appeared right next to my blinking cursor. Now this is going to ask me, what do I want this email to say? So I can explain in simple words. Create an email to the entire company, highlighting the attached phishing guide and how it is important to identify and report these threats. Tone should be friendly yet serious. Reference that there have been recent attacks and they should report anything unusual to IT immediately. Okay, let's see what Copilot does. Okay, hope this email finds you well. Writing in to bring your attention to an important matter. We've noticed a surge of phishing attempts. Help you identify these, we've attached a comprehensive guide. Valuable information. Take the time to review it. Crucial that we stay vigilant. Your prompt action can help make a difference. Thanks for your cooperation. That actually sounds pretty good to me. The length isn't too bad, but I am curious what it looks like if it's shorter. So I'm going to simply say, make it shorter. Okay? Hope this email finds you well. Notice a surge in phishing attempts. Here's a guide. Stay vigilant. Report anything to us immediately. Your action can help prevent breaches. This seems good. I like this. So I'll hit keep it. Very good. I'll make a few last adjustments for readability. There we go. Looks good. I think I'll place the document here. So what I can do is simply move up to Insert here in Outlook and then hit Attach File. From here, I can open up my OneDrive, select the phishing guide document that we just made, and hit Share Link. It's useful for me to hit Share Link as opposed to attaching the document, because then if there are changes to this guide that we need to make in the future, they're going to be accessing the live version instead of that snapshot in time of this document. This looks good to me. I'll go over to the Message tab. I'll hit this ... and select High Importance so that everyone sees it. And then send that off to the entire organization.
Jamal wants to review any new security incidents and service advisories within the Admin Center. He uses Copilot to quickly recap the most relevant information for himself and obtain additional details on specific data related to services and members within his organization.
Now, if you're a member of IT, there's a place in Microsoft 365 that you probably frequent often, the Admin Center. Copilot's here too. I'm going to open up Edge, and here I find myself at my Admin Center homepage under the Health tab. I can see my unique active users, including my product utilization percentages. Now, I have the immediate access to click this button, Copilot Recap, here in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Once I click this, the Copilot pane slides on in here into the side. It has prompted this already for me. Recap the most relevant information across the Admin Center. Copilot will then gather the information about our tenant and environment and bring this to my knowledge. So right away, 0 issues for your organization to act on. Yes. There's a couple of advisories. I'll review them. Out of the 384 update messages, 155 of them are relevant for my organization, so I have some light reading to do a little bit later today. And I can see here in the last 30 days, 4 users are actively engaged in Microsoft 365 Copilot. We're in a 4-user pilot, so that's really good to see that those 4 users are interacting with it. I can customize these recaps by hitting this button here. So what do you want Copilot to include in the recaps? I can uncheck certain items if they're not as useful to me. Very good. I can also ask Copilot some specific questions here. If ever you are interacting with Copilot and you're unsure of what you want to ask Copilot, then simply click this button, View Prompts. You'll see this in a lot of different places where Copilot exists, and this will show you quick ways that you can interact with this instance of Copilot. So here in Admin Center, I can select Find Users Who, and then I can specify what I would like to find. Find users who have a Copilot license assigned. After that, it will search through the different users. How many of them have I bestowed a Copilot license to? Great. Arjun, myself, Jamal, Maya Fey, and Sophia Barrett all have Microsoft 365 Copilot licenses as a part of that 4-user pilot. Right now, I can immediately press this button, Show Inactive Users, and it will take me to the active users area, and it'll specifically sort it by those who have the license that I mentioned. Really useful. If I wanted, I can even click Export and open this information in Microsoft Excel as an exported file. Just like that. Throughout Jamal's day, we've witnessed how Microsoft 365 Copilot revolutionizes IT management. From identifying vulnerable patterns in help desk data to creating an IT troubleshooting agent and responding rapidly to emerging threats, Copilot empowers Jamal to build the more secure organization he desires without adding complexity. For IT professionals like Jamal, Copilot offers that perfect balance, strengthening security while making it more accessible to everyone. What once required specialized tools and dedicated analysis time can now be accomplished within the familiar Microsoft 365 environment. The resources on your screen provide deeper insights into implementing Copilot for IT and security teams, including deployment guides and best practices. Thank you for exploring Jamal's journey with me today, and I'm excited to see how Copilot helps your IT team build a more secure and resilient organization.
This event is now concluded. If you have any final questions, you can ask them in the chat. Event resources are linked in our event platform. Thank you so much for joining us today.